Hi, I'm Jay, and if you find using Photoshop or Lightroom difficult, that's why you don't edit your photographs anymore, well, you don't really need to master all the controls or settings you find in those programs. Actually, there are just a few controls there that we frequently use when we edit or convert raw files into JPEG or PNG or TIFF. And one of those is what I'm going to talk about in this video. So right now, I'm using Capture One Pro. Capture One Pro is made by Phase One. It's a competing product of Adobe's Lightroom. So if you're using a Lightroom, whenever I make or do some adjustments in this Capture One, you should be able to find same controls also in Lightroom, or it may not be, it may not have the same terms, but it will be called similarly. So I have here a photograph of an old house taken in Negros Oriental in the Philippines. And it was taken at dusk and it was backlit. And furthermore, the house was actually underexposed. So as you can see here, even the garden areas are in the dark. So what I want, yeah, I have to ask first what I want to do with this photograph. Why am I editing it? Well, plainly, I just want to reveal more details, especially in the darker parts of the picture. So most would go for the exposure slider to control the exposure. So this is an equivalent of your exposure compensation in the camera. So if I adjust this, if I go to the left, it becomes darker. If I go to the right, it becomes brighter. Now, you might think, oh, this is good because it has already, we can see more details now in the darker parts of the picture in what were the dark parts. But actually, by moving this exposure slider, it affected the entire photograph because this is similar to your exposure compensation. The entire frame gets affected. So the bright sky already even became brighter, losing more details. So I won't use this exposure control because my objective is not really to adjust the entire photograph's exposure or density. Well, if everything there is dark, then that's the time I will use the exposure slider. Here, my only issue is that I just want to lighten the darker areas of the picture, not the entire frame. So with that, I will go to high dynamic range. And maybe I'm sure you'll find similar set of controls also in Lightroom. So in Capture One, we have four: highlight, shadow, white, and black. The highlight controls only the brighter parts of the picture. The shadow controls the darker parts of the photo. The white handles the extreme bright areas, and the dark handles the extreme dark areas of the image. So the areas that I want to adjust are the shadow or the darker areas. So I'll use the shadow, and if I adjust the shadow to the right, look at that. We can already see details in what was dark, uh, in what were the dark areas, without actually adjusting the sky, which is a bright in the bright area or in the bright region, so it won't be affected. And I can also adjust the black slider to lift more details in the darkest parts of the picture. As you can see that we can reveal more details there. And but I don't really want to lighten it too much. It also flattens the image. So I just want to add a bit more depth into the really shadow or darkest parts of the picture to make it appear more natural. So I'll slide the shadow slider more to reveal more of the overall dark areas, as you can see there. Okay, and then pull back on the shadow to give more depth into the shadow details, into the darkest parts of the picture to make it more realistic. If I go too much, look at that. It doesn't look natural anymore. So there you go. Maybe there you go. Maybe -8 like that. Now we can even improve this further. We can make the sky still, it's dark, it's still bright. We can make it a bit darker by adjusting the highlights. And there you go, all the way to the left. So this is the before, and this is the after. See? So you don't really need to adjust the overall density of the photograph. And for me, if this is my objective, to just lighten the photographs to reveal more details, and that's it, we're finished. So I hope you like this tutorial, and I'll see you in the next video. Mabuhay!